what I'm saying is like those people, it's like, I always use the example of like, I used to work for, I used to be, when BP had a big issue with the oil spill, then there was, they did spill a bunch of oil right here in Louisiana.
Yeah.
There was a couple of companies I used to work for a team that was helping during that recovery time. And there was a team, that were protesting because there was a lot of wildlife and animals in the sea that were dying because of all this spill, right? But all the employees that work in that company, they were asking for chicken and they were eating barbecue. I'm like, wait a minute, you guys are a bunch of hypocrites, right? Excuse my language, because it's like you here fighting this big corporation, and I'm not justifying the corporation decision, but and the corporation choices, but you here blaming this corporation for this. But here you are. There was a team of like 15 people in that team. Only one guy was eating like vegetarian, and I was vegan back then when that happened. So there's no excuses. So all these people were eating fish, the same fish that they were complaining that they were killing, they were eating it anyway. So for me, like, doesn't make no sense. It's like you go with one hand and protest about one thing, but then on the other hand, you're doing the opposite. So it's not productive. So that's why I always tell people, like, if you're gonna protest about something, it's like, if I'm gonna talk about vegan, I have to stand by it. I can't be saying that I'm vegan and then doing some other thing behind the scenes. So that to me, that doesn't, the ethical part is not there.
Yeah, yeah. What I got from that, and what I wrote down, was what you're looking for is people to base their decisions on compassion, accountability, and responsibility from the general public, that us as individual citizens, regardless of innovation and food technology and creativity and advancements and all that, there's a lot of it does come down to our individual shoulders, because we eat 6 times per day if we're in the Western world and we have the affluence and the resources to do that. Every single time we sit down to eat, if we choose compassion, accountability, responsibility for our fellow beings, we make some forward progress, which affects supply and demand and all these things that I wrote about in my book. And you also reminded me of like the oil spill while they're eating animals, while they're trying to save them, or people trying to save straw, not use a straw to save the fish while they're still eating fish,